next new head coach, and we're going to have a completely different conversation about Sean Payton and the Broncos than I thought we were going to have. We all thought there was this all-star cast, so wherever Sean Payton went, they were all coming, and that's kind of disintegrated.
Yeah, it feels almost like it took so long for him to get the job that guy like Vic Fangio goes to be the DC in Miami. Like guys were just like, you know what, I'm just going to go take the opportunity that's already here because I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I agreed. So Fangio's out. He's in Miami. Thank God. I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm happy with that. So I have to ask you, is Jason or is Justin Alton still the offensive coordinator in Denver?
The last that I saw is that Sean Payton hadn't made any hires yet. I was just looking yesterday trying to figure out what he had done, and so far I don't think he's made any hires. I know some of these team websites haven't updated all their coaches yet. They still have coaches that aren't going to be there. I don't know what Sean Payton's done so far. Really, the only lead that I have on coaches that might be coming into Denver is Rex Ryan might be the DC.
Okay. So Alton is out. I just looked up Alton's in Tennessee. So they do not have an offensive coordinator. And I had not heard that about Rex Ryan. That'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see where Rex Ryan is with the game. Is the game passing by? Has he lost his edge? Has he got something new to bring to the game? Certainly has a good reputation and as far as his past coaching experiences and his defensive ability, but we'll see what he brings now. It's not the powerful punch I thought was going to happen. I thought when Sean Payton walked in and he walked in with his crew, his entourage rolling in, that suddenly they'd be a superpower, and that it's taking a lot longer for that to develop than I thought it would, which is still early. I mean, I'm not dogging what Sean Payton's going to do or anything, but it's just developing slower than we thought. So we will certainly, keep up on that. But there's no doubt in my mind that Sean Payton's going to have a positive effect on what's happening here.
Yeah, absolutely. You would expect Sean Payton coming in. I mean, what he was able to do for 15 years in New Orleans. When he became the coach in New Orleans, I was still pretty young, but I know NFL history, and the Saints were trash for a very long time. And then Sean Payton and Drew Brees happened. So whatever he has Russell Wilson now. You know what I mean? So with what they have going on there in Denver, I expect him to be able to put together a good crew of coaches. There are going to be plenty of people jumping at the opportunity to be able to coach with Sean Payton and learn from Sean Payton to go on and get opportunities for themselves in the future. So whatever he plans on doing, I think it's going to work because Denver, I feel like I say it every year, it's like Denver has the roster to make noise. Like they have the weapons to make noise. Like Sean Payton coming in is like the guy you would want. I wanted him to be the Colts coach. You know what I mean? So coming in as Denver, being the Denver head coach, if I'm a Broncos fan, I'm very excited about what Sean Payton brings and the level of experience that he brings and the level of success that he brings.
Yeah, agreed. And I think that the future is bright in Carolina. I think it's bright in Indianapolis, and I think it's bright in Denver.
Yeah, now a thing that I think kind of hinders Sean Payton, we talked about Frank Reich in that video, how he got fired earlier and he started his interviews earlier. Sean Payton getting hired later is kind of hurting him when you're talking about trying to get coaches. There's been talk about the NFL changing things to where in the future, all the coaches, it'll all start after the Super Bowl or so that everybody gets a fair shot, and everything starts around the same time and you don't have coaches getting plucked. You can have, coaches that Frank Reich has right now could be interviewing with Sean Payton right now. So there's talk about that getting changed in the future, which I think is interesting and probably is a thing that could help level the playing field for some of these coaches. But that doesn't matter for Sean Payton right now. I just thought that was an interesting tidbit as something that I've kind of noticed happening in this coaching cycle.
Of course, if you're following the Colts, I mean, that's all well and good. You can make it till after the Super Bowl, but the Colts suddenly told everybody that the weekend before the Super Bowl, that they'd interviewed sorry, we're not interested. And they're not stupid. They didn't gamble that much thinking, oh, he might take the job Monday. I'm sure they had a pretty good indication that he was going to take the job on Monday, and he was still not yet available. So there's ways around that. We know that there's always ways around that. But I think it's not a bad idea to try to level the playing field as much as possible. Hopefully we'll see that in the future.